dick. For once, because, you know, her pussy ain't dry anymore once you showed her what you're all about, besides some douchebag who ain't got a job, who's like so broken inside. You're worse than a gay man, bro. Look at me, do I act gay? Nah, I am 100% authentic. Do you know what that word means? It's almost like guaranteed. Satisfaction guaranteed. So close. So what we do up here, I've been working on this piece. Let's do this so we can give ourselves some time to talk smack, make fun of the world. We do a 16-bit file when it comes to this point. Who I am, which is a plague, you know, especially when this is only person who you see except for my wife. And that's about a good thing about being married, is people can have adult human conversations with her just fine, and she can translate if my alien ass is doing okay or not. Because with this broken back, reason why this stuff is so cheap, I don't know if I said it or not, it's because it's dry. And I was asking around one day, how do I keep my bud from drying out? Because when it's dry, it burns quicker. They said use a piece of bread. I was like, really? You're joking? But nah, like it works. To order pizza like one time a week now. But you put a piece of bread in here, and you can definitely tell that your stuff ain't as crisp. You can now bend the leaf over without it breaking. And that's what we're dealing with. We have a solution for your brittle wheat. But we went in there and they just pulled these off the shelf. And that was pretty neat. You know, it was like a factory little thing they got going on. I've been thinking, do I be wasting more weed doing it this way? And, well, you know, I always had the bong in my hand watching these old videos. And I think it depends on how you smoke it. So, if I was just to light it on top and smoke it, I think you could burn it, but this has really no place for air to escape. So when you light the stuff, it starts to burn on your pole because it's sucking oxygen through here, and this has almost got a tight seal on it. So it's only pulling air from here, and maybe a few things on the side. But you ever notice I'm always lighting it? So it burns out fairly quickly because fires disappear when there is no more oxygen left. So that's what happens, and I know for a fact when I smoke out of my bong, I ain't got a screen in there, so if the weed can fit through the pipe, it's gonna get sucked to the bottom. So I know I'd be wasting weed on that for sure. This one, I know every little thing is getting burnt up. And so it's like you almost gotta know how to do it and why you would put your plate up like this versus down. And I've had that thing stay lit if you continue to pull on it. And that's what you want, right? The moment I stop, the moment it burns all the oxygen up in that, and it disappears. And if you think it's burning, you can just put your finger up there and it stops. And we just refilled we probably had 6 nugs in there before, and that's a half ounce. I got one more of those, and I got another ounce of indica. So, like, at least for this, I know everything's being used, and I know I'm not overburning it. Those are advantages that this pipe has that the bong doesn't. I know that my lungs aren't being burnt just from the heat of the smoke. Even though that's got water, I think this has better filtration because it's got to travel much further to really be sucking down debris into my lungs, you know, let alone dirty bong water. So, honestly, I think this does a great job for what I need it to do. I can hold this instead of that. This is easier on my back. And it's like, I know for a fact what's coming out of here is cremation dust.
The songs that, like, even I've done them. Like, I was never into that screaming rap, but lately that's, I guess, the style I've had with screaming rap. It's not my style. But here we are making it. Making music I hate. Sounds good. If I remove all of my hatred towards the product I made and look at it for what it is, there's a lot of good stories in there. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of vibration. A lot of these should be in the recycle bin. I have to tell myself, don't delete. I should always make songs about you love me in this love-hate relationship. I should always make songs about like fighting off demons. I should never make songs about friends. I should never make songs about shoes. I should never make songs about like your personal life. I should never make songs that have names in them. I should never make songs that have swear words at any given time play at, like, hey, let me see what you're working on. I'll show you something I worked on 5 years ago, and that shit's hot. Yeah, we can't be messing around. Like, we gotta be paying attention. That's why we get unlimited amounts of weed. That's why I can smoke. I smoke so much I forget I smoke. Child. But hey, in 10 years, things will be different. 10 years ago, I was straight up bullshit. That's a fact. I had so much shit I need to learn in life that 10 years ago, I wasn't shit. And once you hit that 10-year mark, you can never go back. And that's the thing with me. So my wife wants to meet my family back at home, but I really don't feel like being hurt. Kindergarten, yes. Preschool, no. Screaming at each other, picking fights. In kindergarten, we can sit and listen to the teacher. We can sit and listen to Mr. Rogers in preschool. We can do that. In kindergarten. But, y'all ordered with me, and I can't. 19 albums out. What do you got? Besides pink slip and a mortgage. Like, what the fuck, Y'all living that Jones's life. I'm living this druggy life, this goal life, this legend life. That is, the only way Patients have their drugs, the doctor says. Just say no to the person in the street. Stop looking at us. We didn't do anything wrong. I'm back here trying to make music and you're out there messing it up for me. No wonder we ain't friends, homie. No wonder. People ain't so bad. Yeah, but I got proof. Look what your dumbass did. And you want me to invest stock in our relationship when there's a high chance that a loss will be involved? And, me just like cashing out and walking away from the friendship. So I need to stay focused on the things that I'm married to. My music, my wife, and my music. Everything else is like news in the paper. It's like you're messing it up. Like your prejudiced ways, your religious views are messing up my plan that's got nothing to do with you. You say I got a problem, really? No, I'm just trying to be healthy. I'm trying to get my ass out of bed. Homo sapiens said what? But no one ever says anything to me. However, I'm making this for the people who are.
Object most. See, I couldn't be a top 100 programmer. I don't think you could be. Maybe. There's so much to even learn in that realm that there's not even a list. But here, maybe. You just have to learn what you know and learn it good. It's like riding a bike. You rode a bike 1,000 times. You ride your bike better 1,001th than you did your first, because you know that bike. You know the gravel. You know what will happen. And that's the same way we've done here. process, and all I got to do is attend. Push a few switches now, but there's no book for this. It was custom, made for me. I had many racks. Every time I lift my arm, that's putting stress on my back. So all the studio setups I had was hard on my body, and it took a lot of years to finally have the courage to make one and just do it. My back hurt, but I still did it. It took me a while, but we still did it. And ever since my near death, that freaked me out a bit. I don't know really what to think about that. I always land in conflict. But in my dream, when I was at the pearly gate, the only thing I said or thought was, I'm not done rapping yet. So I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. And I gotta just be okay with it. Instead of fighting with myself, and always ask the question, is this where I'm supposed to be at? I just have to accept that music is who I am now. And I gotta act like it. Many days, I don't know who I am, because we were a programmer, we were this, we were an editor, a sound guy, electronic technician, all of these things, all of these alter egos that don't have names. They're a side of me that took many months, if not years, to develop. And then we just moved on. I think if you can keep all the knowledge you know and build upon it and not destroy it and start over, if you can build on what you already have, it's sort of what I've done, I guess, at all costs. I didn't care what other people thought, because if I listened, then I wouldn't be doing this. So at some point, I learned to be like, okay, well, thank you for your advice. I didn't take it to heart, but I heard it and I remembered it. I wasn't free until I had my back surgeries. That was the moment when I felt alone. And everyone's else living their own life. But when you go through something like this that no one does, you don't know anyone who, then yeah, I mean, we're doing this alone. So I tend to write lyrics of struggle, and because that's what we think about in our daily life. If all I wrote about was, we getting money, night and day, honey, we getting money, sweet mustard and honey, we getting money. I mean, yeah, maybe tonight we'll write something like that, but not everyone gets money. Everyone has mental problems, whether we want to admit it or not, and that's why Kelly Clarkson, Beautiful Disaster, Counting Crows, around here, Anna, you got all of these. There's this other one song called 2 a.m. Plenty of songs. Songs inspired me in the day. They kept me going. There's no one that sounds like that. That was an incredible album, in my opinion. Guns N' Roses. My sister listened to them. They were country fans, so there's quite a few country songs. Garth Brooks. Baby Got Back. Yep. Techno. There was a lot of, when I was in my party days, we went to a lot of clubs, and I learned to like the techno sound. I just liked it. My friend introduced me into ICP. I had a Immortal Technique CD. It's pretty badass, and quite a few atmosphere songs. Yeah. there was what I liked about ICP was their diversity in having no fear on making crazy songs. You know, songs like "I'm gonna kill myself," "I'm gonna kill myself." It's me as a writer, like how far do you write before it's too much? But they're a good guidance. I listen to them for inspiration. I like it. It reminds me that I can go out of the boundaries and not feel bad. Understood what that one was. So I had all the Fuji albums, had all the Warren G albums, all the Tupac albums, all the Ice Cube albums. Ladrox was more of a violent rapper. Eazy-E, got Drake, Eminem, OT Genesis, you got G-Eazy, that was just a few years ago. Mariah Carey, Slaughter, what was a metal band. Up all night, sleep all day. You got Tattoo Radio. They're a lesbian chicks from Germany. Shaggy. We'd always be playing that at this one chick's house, doing drugs. The Game. That's who I listened to a lot right after my near death. And hold on, got an ad here. Lisa Loeb, that was a big in my high school years. Jay-Z. I didn't listen to a lot of Jay-Z. But he was aight. My Immortal, that song was probably going in my head for a long time. Madonna.
That is how this thing basically works. And my other was a ribbon mic, real thin ribbon that would catch vibrations as it would fly through the air. Two different kind of microphones. And a condenser is, I almost want to say, it measures, whereas the ribbon catches. A condenser, you need to push. Like, it's not as sensitive as a ribbon. And condenser, it needs phantom power. It's got some other stuff, you can, it's just different, Some are made different, so they produce a different sound. Some are made for female vocals, male vocals, drums, and they take out some frequencies. And audio mastering is about gain. All it ever is about volume leveling. And if you can get that right from the beginning, you will be better off. But how do you get it? I had to go through so many personal experiences that seemed like it took a long time to get to where I'm right now. I don't think I could snap my finger and be like, okay, I know what I know now from reading this book. It was a journey. I wouldn't know what I know now unless I went through the journey. It wasn't a book I read. It was a journey. We're still rapping, man. So I figured we have to go through these freestyle ones, this freestyle folder, before we go through the beat folder, because that's what we're trying to get to. I don't want to miss any. We went through these real quick to categorize them. I didn't do a very good job. They're just categorized in bulk. And then later on we sit through them. And we give it another run. So we put all the instrumentals, the beats that aren't repeats in their own folder. And when I advertise myself, I put them in another folder so I can find them and remove them if I need to. Something changes, it's all right there. I got one for, I got all kind of folders that are made for certain things. And when you're working with this much, you need to make sure you don't have duplicates, for one. Two, you know where things are going. And 3, when you delete it, it's a valid and genuine delete. It's not a biased delete. The delete is based off of a rule set. Well, damn, I think I talk too much about shit. So let's take a break here and edit. Since I took the pill, my body's feeling good. Today we are recording myself making another one. I'm not sure why I start talking, and every time I start talking, we push the button. So today's LGCD 436.8. Check. Deep thought questions. That's today's theme. Choices in life, and I'm trying to make the best choice for me, for you, for everyone, for my family, for the extended family. I'm not trying to make myself look like a fool. I'm not trying to destroy myself just so I can build myself back up. What kind of life is that, man? I want to stay at the top and stay there. That mindset is a great mindset to have. Knowing and believing when you chill in the car, it feels wonderful to believe that I got 20 albums versus nothing. It feels good to have those future investments versus what am I going to do with myself. It feels good. And I did all of those investments in under 5 years. Under 2 years, let's be honest, 2 years. That's when Creative Wind Studios opened, it was in 2017. I did 1,000 tracks in 2 years, and every time I go outside, I'm unhappy, but I know deep down inside that I still feel good. You can still feel good and be unhappy. You can be unhappy and not be depressed. And the way how life presented it to me is a struggle. I'm on this weed that helps me, but it creates difficulty when I talk. I could be sad and depressed about that, but I do my best not to let it worry me. This sometimes places out of order with wires hanging all around and it looks bad. I could let it get to me, but I don't. I choose to try to stay on the positive side. I'm not like, let me see what I can get, all I can get, because you get what you put in. You get what you put in. It's not how much can you take. The more you take and the world sees it, the less your investment will turn out to be. So you might win right now with that kind of mindset, but you will ultimately lose in the end. And like I said a million times, I'm top 100. I'm with a winning team. I can help you to be a winning team too. And I thought that's what a relationship is. I got a relationship with myself. I got a relationship with my music. I got a relationship with every job task. I know its personality. I know how to deal and work with it. And because I know how to do that, it knows how to work with me. But if all I'm doing is demanding, keyboard, do this, keyboard, come to me, keyboard. If all I do is complain about how tight that thing is on my face, if all I do is make ugly ass faces when I take a puff, what is that explaining to you? What does that tell you? If I'm back here saying popping pills, yeah, that's one thing, but you never see me pop pills. I just say it. This is a cool thing to say. Like, oh, I'm going to do some drugs legally. Yeah. What's wrong with that? Can I not do that? I think so far everyone is on my side, and I'm not trying to push the poor girl over. I just have a list of needs. I know it sounds bad, but like I'm sexually satisfied. I don't have a problem down there, but it's that mental connection. Like, I see what you need, and I'm helping you get through your dream. But what about me? What about me? I dress nice for you. I wear your hat. I go and buy you dresses or what, and you can't wear them twice. I'm just gonna smoke my weed and try to talk about this subject and just think about my future investments. So you can't mix up sounds like that. That's a fairly old machine, but it works great. It's got battery power, it's got MIDI cables and some other connections for hosts. And that was my very first one I started on. Let's continue back here. So what do? I just make loops, basically. And I'm recording loops, and they go over here, and I can bring them up. I got quite the list. I don't know how the hell I'm going to find them, but eventually I will organize them. And you just press on it. So tonight when we record 16 bars. Because I don't want it to be too repetitious. I like that sounding, because when we make our, when I submit these instrumentals, they are 64 bar looped. They're looped 64 bars 4 times. And the trick is it will still be a loop, but you don't want it to sound too repetitious that people figure it out and get bored with it. So that's why I like 16 and 64 and 32 rather than 8 and 4 and 2, because that's too much, man. 2, 4, and 8, even 1 is way too much unless you're doing a effect. I like 16, 32, 64 bars when working in a production environment. So let's continue smoking this up, and we'll share some tips and tricks back and forth on how YouTube can be a beat producer like me, making $4,000 a month. 2 years into the game, we got 20 albums out, 1,000 tracks, 150 of those are freestyles. I encourage you to check them out. Follow me. I got back problems, so you don't really need an enabled mind to do this. You just need to figure not everything out. You just need to figure how to submit a CD. You need to figure out how to record it. You need to figure out how to prepare it. And once you figure like these 4 things out that take up basically your whole life, you've got it. Like, it's so simple. Even a caveman can do it. But do come back on Wednesday. I believe Roxy Design will be back in here. DJ Roxy, DJ Design, be back in here sitting in this chair, recording some beats from her apps that she downloaded for my collection. So I can't wait to hear what will come out of her mind. She's got more of the style I'm trying to follow. She's all into the Tyga and Cardi B. She's like 10 years younger than me, so that's a big gap between ages. And so like all the music that I used to listen to, she doesn't know. So I like it because I don't want to get too far out of the loop to where, I'm considered old and what the hell is this guy still doing rapping. I never want to hear those words come out of someone's mouth because it sounds so bad. For one, it's like, what are you doing still an airline pilot, bro? Don't you know you're too old to play the flute? Don't you know you're too old to play the guitar? Yeah, I know you spent your whole life learning and being experienced in how to do it correctly, but you're just too old to be watching TV. You're changing no matter what. Even though I've been locked down dealing with my own problems, I still change. And once I gave myself time a day to learn, like if it wasn't for the surgeries, it wouldn't give me the time to be like, come up with the idea of like, I got so much time in my life now. I got a YouTube account, and this was a real thought that started this whole YouTube binge thing. And I watch so many YouTube videos, but I use YouTube as a way to educate myself on topics, like 8 hours a topic. Some topics I couldn't last, but some topics were like, interesting, very interesting. I learned many ways and cultures, and what I've learned is that reality, what is true, lies, L-I-E-S, inside your perception of your daily experiences up to this day. And I think it'd be wonderful if we shared the same. Oh man, I think I lost a bunch of people there
So let me rephrase that. Almost forgot. Like, I like to talk about mental stuff. Not really how to be mental, but triggers, and that's one thing, like we are all made different. Like my cats. Like I used to think, we are all people. We can all hold hands and sing Kumbaya, and if I'm feeling this, there's a high chance all of you are feeling like this. And maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I've understood that we are all fighting our own demons, our own battles. Call it as you want. In this, we're calling it that. And that forms you. We all have a story, whether want to or not. We have the rich man, poor man mentality. So that splits you into categories. Do you work for your money, or do you let your money work for you? And when I first heard that concept, I was confused, and but I started to force myself, and that was before my surgeries. But after my surgeries, I started learning about the mental health, and then I started rapping about, this place is evil, psychiatry is evil, and this and that. To be honest, I think they've come a long ways, and I was saying I was on Zoloft, not really because I'm depressed by what's going on, by what happens to someone who is constantly tortured, and how I sold my microphone, how I deleted all of my content. I saw a pattern there of self-destruction, and I was crying every day. You guys probably remember. I couldn't come in here and not talk about something without crying, and it was just the amount of pain, is that I wanted to cry. That pain level brings you to a new land. When you're at that new land for so long, because your pain levels are so high, it's a weird place to be at. And so you're learning realities, coping mechanisms. Who do I need to be? How do I feel? It became all about this, managing this pain and managing my career and making sure I don't fail either of them. And they both seem like huge mountains, because working with level 10 pain already, and I'm just on a waiting list for this and that. It's hard to get pain medication, drugs. So I'm in this weird land of, well, I don't want you to see it because it does suck. And, then it brings back to me, like, we're all fighting our battles. Why do I want to bring my personal pain and shit out on you? And I focus so much now on being positive, whereas before the surgeries, CW's Pod artist. We label the albums CJ000 all the way up to 300. Currently up to 21, we're missing 20. That's the next one. Oh, I was saying, if you want to support, like if you don't want to download those albums on Mediafire, you can buy them from my distributor at cdbaby.com and click on the store and basically search up those two things to get the artist, click on the artist to get the other albums. And those are selling for $2 a piece. So you can support me that way too if you don't have any other accounts. But I tried to do it for SoundCloud. Needs updating real bad. I don't know why I haven't done it, but it's in desperate need of updating. Alright, well, I've had a great time talking with you guys. Apologize if I've offended anyone, wasn't my point. It's just let my mind wander sometimes, and the goal here is to not offend people. That's about it. I will use your personal experiences, our personal experiences. I will use everyone's personal experiences, but without everyone knowing it was our, your, us experience. It's an experience, therefore someone else must have the experience. And let's just make a story about it. And I invest energy at its maximum. So when I come in here, do my best to invest. So I am a drama king. I know I wouldn't call myself that because I don't make up drama, but I express myself in an extreme way. I should relabel CW's Pod to CW's Pod Extreme, because we're extreme when we're in this room. We're not extreme. We're like losers. Losers out there, man. You wouldn't even want to know me out there, but in here we're cool. Out there, I'm a loser, man. In here I'm a winner, so you can't be a winner at everything. You just gotta pick. You gotta pick and choose your battles. Know yourself. Stay in your own lane. Don't step on toes. Don't offend people. That's how you find your dream.
Peace out.
Casper and Justin is here to save your day with some awesome music. So let's get this party started, homie. We're going. So we got some new beats going on here. Like I said, these will be a bass. These are not the actual music that I will put on CD, but it will sing. You have to give me some time. It's been a while since I used the piano. So this is going to be stuff for future albums. So probably about an hour into it, I'll be feeling real good about myself. Alright, so there's one thing I want to do tonight is I want to stay away from the cymbals and the hi-hats. I want to stay away from, let me share this video on my YouTube channel real quick. I want to stay away from the cymbals and stuff and do more trap stuff, more, basically like Cardi B style. It just depends on where we're dropped off at in the world. And that's our brain. It's our brain surrounded by a population. And you're just the average. You're being programmed by your surroundings. And if you could average in your surrounding experiences, that would be you. That wouldn't be the person 3,000 miles away. And me personally, I wouldn't expect the person 3,000 miles away to understand what the hell I'm going through. Because I believe that they got problems of their own. I believe that we are all struggling with something mentally, physically. One of those two things, right? What else besides there is there? Faith. But if you ain't got yourself mentally or physically, you ain't got faith. So you need to have faith before you have mental or physically. So faith is a given. Everyone's got faith, it's just different. Everyone believes, it's just different. And me as a person, I accept different. I have a hard time telling people that we're all the same. I have a tendency to be like, yo, not really open up your eyes, because really it's not going to do anything. But the goal here is to ID yourself. And once you do that, you can control your happiness and destiny. That is the moral of the story. Because I see it all the time. People have lost themselves trying to figure it out. But it's not about who you are. It's understanding that you may only have a small group of friends, but you're okay with it. And it doesn't matter what the person across the street thinks of you. The whole point is you're okay with it. As long as you know you're doing what you want to and you're not violating, I guess, any social, religion, physical, just any laws. You're just trying to learn from yesterday. And that's why I say, people should record themselves, because life is a journey. Religion, it starts there. Religion is a personal journey. It's taught at a group level, but it's basically ran by yourself. And it's that relationship that, whether it's a mental or mine, aren't ever conversations. They're just like, I don't know. It's just motivation. I'm not talking with anyone, but I identify myself from my personal experiences, and those my awareness has identified that I may have gone to the other side, but chances of me really going through that are slim, because my body just was going through a restart state, and that's how I was taught. So like it goes on and on and on. So like me personally, I know that I screwed up my life. I know when I sit here and listen to some things, it hurts to listen to some of it, but I don't turn it off because it hurts. I'm glad I'm hearing it, because maybe that's the person who I don't want to be if it makes me cringe. And
2018, started fresh, and that's just when I sorted out, but still searching. So a minute, 30 seconds, that's pretty awesome. So like I can play these on random on YouTube, and as long as I play them at the same speed where YouTube will be like, oh, this is from one of your albums, and so they put ads up underneath it, or they count it as one video you watched, and the royalties come out of your monthly payments. So like the $8 you pay to Spotify, all the artists you listen to get a chunk of that. It's not all of Spotify, just people, you, the person who pays the $8. So like if you listen to 1,000 tracks, that $8 will get split up amongst like 1,000 different artists. But if you throughout the month listen to like 3 people, 3 songs by 3 different artists, split up the, let's say 6, there's a high chance that they're going to get paid at least $1 for one listen. You listen to 3 songs by 3 different artists, one whole month, you didn't use it, I might get $1 from that. That's pretty tight. I mean, that's sort of how it works. So how do you get paid? How much? Like it depends. Real hard to say, because it's not put under anyone's control, but the listener, and that's what it is nowadays. So like even when you watch TV and there's music underneath it, someone's getting paid for that, and you don't even know it. It's like you're paying your $8 not to see ads, but your $8 also goes to artists, and that's why it's good to register your beats, because then you can start doing stuff like that. And that's why I thought instrumentals was a good investment. I didn't want to make them, but I'm down to learn. It's almost better than Bitcoin. You just got to do the hard work, the time, punishment. You got to take the abuse from the haters. You got to have time for one. So once you have all that down, it's like, man, I wouldn't want to be anything else at this moment, because I didn't always feel this way, but I feel like I click. And I could easily be like, I'm done with this, I'm done with music, and then I sit out there for a whole week and I was like, damn, that was the best week I had. Then the next week I'm like, who am I? Start questioning myself, like, damn, I'm a loser, sitting on a couch. I'm no longer doing music because I retired for some weird ass reason. And then I'm like, damn, I'm gonna start thinking that I'm a loser. So I go through that experience a few times a year. So like, there's got to be a lot of that going on, and that's a horrible feeling to feel, But every day when I was growing up, in my 30s or so, in my late 20s and 30s, I was feeling like a loser every day. I didn't know who I was. And my parents didn't find their fortune until they were 45. I'll probably be close when I be rolling in fortunes, but until then, it's just hard work. And I'd rather be working for myself, doing something like this, because I can, and it's out there, it's available. You just gotta understand what you're involved in. And I encourage people to do what I do, because, like I said, I get paid by robots. There is no other person in the mix. And once you understand how streaming works, because that's a huge part of this whole thing, it's not really copyrights or license. Because, as long as you make your content 100%, you shouldn't have any problems anywhere, ever.
From all religions, and it has become the last evidence that no eselectic religion can ever influence large numbers of men. True. I mean, that's what we were saying, right? Because people don't like that. All members of the common